Glinda was slow to coming to terms with actual learning. She had considered her admission to Shiz University as a sort of testimony to her brilliance, and believed that she could adorn the halls with learning with her beauty and occasional clever sayings. She supposed, glumly, that she had been to be sort of a living marble bust. This is youthful intelligence. Admire her. Isn't she lovely? It hadn't actually dawned on Galinda that there was more to learn, and furthermore that she was expected to do it. The education of all the new girls chiefly wanted, of course, had nothing to do with Madame Morble or the prattling animals at lecterns and on daisies. What girls wanted wasn't equations or quotations or orations. They wanted shiz itself. City life, the broad, offensive panoply of life and life, seamlessly intertwined. Galinda was relieved that Elphaba never took part in the outings the Ammas organized, since they often stopped at a lunchroom for a modest meal. The weekly brigade came known as informally as the Chowder and Marching Society. The university district was aflame with autumn color, not just of dying leaves, but also of fraternity pennants fluttering from rooftop and spire. Galinda soaked up the architecture of Shiz. Here and there, mostly in protected college yards and side streets, the old surviving domestic architecture still learned. Ancient wattle and daub, exposed stud framing like the parallel grannies by stronger, newer relatives on either side. Then, on dizzying succession, unparalleled glories, bloodstone, medieval, Merthek, both least and more fantasticalante with its symmetry and restraint. Galante reformed with all these festering OGs and broken pediments. Bluestone revival, imperial bombast, industrial modern, or as it christened the liberal press put, high hostile crud style, form propagated by the modernity-minded Wizard of Oz. Besides architecture, the excitement was tame, to be sure. On one notable occasion, when no cray tall girl present ever forgot, the senior boys from Three Queens College across the canal, for a lark and on a dare, had taken themselves up with a beer in the middle of the afternoon, had hired a white bear violinist, and had gone down to dance together under the willow trees, wearing nothing but their clinging cotton drawers and their school scarves. It was deliciously pagan, as they set up an old ship statue of Lurine the Fairy Queen on a three-legged stool, seemed to smile at their loose-limbed gaiety. The girls and Ammas pretended shocked, but poorly they lingered, watching until horrified prospectors from Three Queens came rushing out to round the revelers up. Near nudity was one thing, but public lurlinism, even as a joke, bordered on being intolerably retrograde, even royalist. And that did not do in the wizard's reign. One Saturday evening, when the Ammas had a rare night off and taken themselves into a pleasure of faith meeting in Tickner Circus, Galinda had a brief and silly squabble with Fanny and Shen, after which she retired early to her bedchamber, complaining of a headache. Elphaba was sitting in her bed with a commissionary brown blanket tucked around her. She was hunched forward over a book, as usual, and her hair hung down in brackets on either side of her face. She looked to Glinda like one of those etchings. The natural history books are full of them, of all odd, winky mountain women who hide their strangers with a shawl over the head. Elphaba was munching on the pips of an apple, having eaten all the rest of it. "Well, you look cozy enough, Miss Elphaba," said Galinda challengingly. In the 3 months, it was the first social remark she had managed to make to her roommate. "Looks are only looks," said Elphaba, not looking up. "Will break your concentration if I sit on the fire, in front of the fire. You cast a shadow if you just sit there." "Oh, sorry," said Galinda and moved. "Mustn't cast shadows, must we, when the urgent words are waiting to be read?" Elphaba was back in her book and didn't answer. "What the dickens are you reading night and day?" It seemed as if Elphaba was coming up from air from a still, isolated pool. "Well, I don't read the same thing every day, you know. Tonight I am reading some of the speeches of the early unionist fathers. Why would anyone ever want to do that? I don't know. I don't even know if I want to read them. I'm just reading them. But why? Miss Elphaba the Delirious. Why? Elphaba looked up at Galinda and smiled. Elphaba the Delirious. I like it. Before she had a chance to bite it back, Galinda returned the smile, and at the same time a sweeping wind sent a handful of hail against the glass and the latch broke. Galinda leaped to the swing and the casement shut, but Elphaba scuttled in the far corner of the room, away from wet. Give me the leather luggage grip, Miss Elphaba, from inside my satchel. There on the shelf behind the hat boxes. Yes, and I'll secure this until we can get the porter to fix it tomorrow. Elphaba found the strap, but in doing so, the hat boxes tumbled down. 3 colorful hat rolls rolled out on the cold floor, while Galinda scrabbled up on a chair to organize to shut the window again. Elphaba returned the hats to their boxes. Oh, try it on, said Galinda. She meant to have something to laugh at, to tell Mrs. Fanny and Shen about, and so to work her way back in their good graces. Oh, I daren't, Miss Galinda, Elphaba said and went to set the hat away. No, I insist, Galinda said. For a lark, I've never seen you in something pretty. I don't wear pretty things. What's the harm, said Galinda. Just here, no one else needs to see you. Elphaba stood facing the fire, but turned her head on the shoulders and looked unblinkingly at Glinda, who had not yet hopped on from the chair. The Munchkin lantern was in her nightgown, a drab sack without a benefit of lace, edging, or piping. The green face above the wheat gray fabric seemed almost to glow, and the glorious long straight black hair fell over the right breast where it should be if she were to reveal any evidence that she possessed them.